This Ask Misty is from Talon44, but it's basically, Dear Misty, I'm new to drag and I asked this girl to be my drag mother and she said yes. And then I find out later, after I took her last name, that she's horrible and doesn't have a good past. So I want to change my name. What do I do? And she actually messaged me on Facebook as well, so I actually told her my answer in person on Facebook. First of all, I believe I addressed this issue in my other video. When you're becoming a drag queen, if you really, really want to be a fierce drag queen, if you really want to be famous, and if you really want to have a career, I don't think you need anyone's last name. Be your own person. Yeah, because either having somebody's last name could be a big negative, or it could be a big negative. I don't really see a lot of positives. Well, there are some positives. A lot of people think that choosing a drag name will open doors for you. Maybe. But I think if being someone's drag daughter was going to open a door, it wouldn't matter what your last name is. She's still going to get you booked wherever she wants to get you booked. You know what I'm saying? But without using her as a booking reference, if you have someone's last name, like for example, one of the most famous drag queens I can think of are Erica Norell and Erica Andrews. Norell has many drag daughters. Most of them don't have her last name. Noelle Leon, Poison Ivy, etc. All fierce and amazing drag queens, but they're fierce and amazing on their own right. Erica Andrews, she loves her last name and loves to give it out. Nothing wrong with that. One of the negatives I can think of is if they use that last name to get bookings, and that they book you because you're an Andrews, for example. And then if you're actually not a good substitute for the real Erica, or if you're not as good as Erica, that could really look bad upon you. Like, oh, well, she said she's an Andrews, but clearly she's not. That would be negative. And then they would never book you again because they had higher expectations. It's kind of like, for example, if you really want to see this movie and everyone's like, oh my god, it's the best movie ever, it was so good, it was so good, it was so good, you're going to die, you're going to laugh, you're going to cry, it's better than Broadway. And then you go see it and you have all these expectations and you see the movie and you're like, oh, that's it? It's almost as if you wish nobody told you it was good so you could have really enjoyed it. Kind of the same thing. You know, if you come as a quote-unquote Andrews or any other person, they're going to expect you to be of that caliber, and if you're not, it could really burn you. Now, the same goes as if your drag queen is horrible, or doesn't have a good reputation, or is bad. Yeah. I definitely can see that becoming a big problem. Because if nobody wants to book her, let's use the same name, Erica Andrews. Obviously, she has a very good reputation, but let's say if she had a horrible one and nobody wanted to book her, why would they want to book so-and-so Andrews? Yeah, if she's an Andrews, I want nothing to do with her. You don't want that either, you know. So obviously, before you pick a drag mother, I guess it depends. If you're desperate to have anybody help you and the first person that says yes, great, take that drag mother. But don't take her last name. You don't need her last name. Be your own person. Plain and simple. None of my daughters have my last name. None. You don't need a last name. You know, unless you really think that you can't amount to anything on yourself and you want to use that to open the only doors because you can't open them yourself, then I can see that. That makes sense. Alright, here's a quick PS to the should I keep or change my last name to the drag mother. And I really want to address this because I thought of it later, but I wanted to say it. I thought of it later, but I wanted to say it before I posted this. When you're picking a drag mother, yes, I realize that a lot of times I'm going to learn and teach you as I learn. That works. But when you pick a drag mother, you really want somebody that actually knows what they're doing. You don't want a blind leading the blind situation. It could be beneficial because you're both eager to get out there and you're both either eager to go to all these places and you're like, oh, let's just up and go. Yeah, you'll learn. But you really want somebody that knows what they're doing and what they're talking about with drag. When someone asks you to be their drag mother, or when someone asks you if you want to be their drag daughter, find out who their other drag daughters are. Do their drag daughters know how to do their own makeup? how often do they perform? Why don't they perform very often? A lot of times I have friends that have many drag kids, but their drag kids have no idea how to do drag. And having drag kids is kind of like, I don't know how to say this, kind of like white trash people procreating. They're just breeding and breeding because they want a lot of themselves running around. But they have no intention of teaching their drag children how to be amazing. They, in fact, some of them don't want their drag daughters to be amazing. I was out of town visiting a city far away, and I was in the bathroom with this girl, and I was like, oh, well, let me highlight your face. She brought out this powder, and she didn't know how to do it, and I'm like, let me help you. So I re-highlighted her face, and, you know, like, the right areas, and I'm like, I'll do mine, too, so you can watch me on, you know, with your makeup, I'll do my own face. Her drag mother came in and flipped the fuck out, and I was like, what is your problem? And she's like, I don't want her to become better. Straight up said it, and I'm like, why? Come to find out, she didn't want her to look better than her. She wanted to keep her drag daughter less than. Also, I know a lot of drag queens, and especially the kind that give out their last name, that they won't let you do drag unless they do your makeup. Which is fine because you're representing them with their last name. But what if you get a booking, or what if you want to go out and they're not available to paint your face, or they're too tired, or whatever? You know, you really want a drag mother that's going to teach you how to do everything your own. You know, like for example, my drag daughters, I'll do their makeup the first time for free, just because I want them to learn. And then the next time, we're going to sit side by side and do our makeup together, and I'll show you why and how and what to do to correct, and, you know, I'll guide you. But I don't want to be responsible for your face. You need to know how to do your own look. You need a drag mother like that keeps you amazing. Anyways, sorry for the PS. Loving you, Zuzi. Bye.